々木朗希投手の入団会見が行われ、普段は試合がある時しか放送しない LA の番組も放送していました。ジェリー・アストンジュニア氏も今回の移籍決定を大喜びし、大きな期待を寄せています。また、会見ではロバーツ監督をはじめ、球団社長も佐々木朗希投手に期待を寄せるコメントをしていました。今回はそちらの番組を翻訳してお届けいたします。
We're just minutes away from meeting the newest Dodger in one of the biggest international free agent signings in history in what has been another huge offseason here in LA. Pitching phenom Roki Sasaki is joining the World Series champions. Hi, everybody. Welcome inside our Sportsnet LA studios. John Hartung here alongside the real Jay Hare, Jerry Hairston Jr. Jerry, despite this process being somewhat tight-lipped really all throughout, we thought it would come down to Dodgers and Padres. The Blue Jays entered as a finalist, but today it's official. Roki Sasaki is a Dodger.
Yeah, Sasaki's a game changer. He's a young prospect. He's not a finished product yet. He's got lightning stuff, touches 102, devastating split as well. Can't wait to see him in Dodger blue.
Already making the rounds in Los Angeles. Last night he was at a Lakers game. With that, it is time to meet the newest Los Angeles Dodger, Roki Sasaki, at Dodger Stadium.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Before we get started, it's important that we also say something to remember all the people in our community that are hurting right now with these wildfires. We understand there's more fires starting today, and of course our hearts go out to all of the people in our community that are suffering. We have done some things you'll be hearing more about, more things that we have planned as we go forward, but again, what has happened so far is literally unimaginable, and so our hearts, thoughts, and prayers go out to all in our community who are suffering. A couple years ago, our organization learned of opportunities that might be coming down the road in the next few years, opportunities that would allow us to first and foremost improve our team, which is always job one, but also improve our game for our fans and for our community, be good for business, also be good for Major League Baseball as we expand globally. And so, led by Andrew and Brandon and the Baseball Operations Department, we set on a course to take advantage of whatever opportunities we could find over these next few years. Today is another important milepost on that path as we announce the signing of Roki Sasaki. It's something we have worked very hard on. It's something we pride ourselves on as Dodgers, because we have a history of not just being the best team, but also reaching out across our community, reaching out globally, especially with our long history through the Pacific Rim. So with that, let me turn this over to Andrew Friedman to talk about how we got here today and what this means for our team. Andrew?
Okay. Thank you for joining us today. This is truly an exciting moment for the Los Angeles Dodgers organization, as well as our fans in Los Angeles and all over the world. Today, we proudly announce the signing of one of the most electrifying and promising talents in the game, Roki Sasaki. Our journey to this moment began 6 years ago when Galen Carr, Ishmael Cruz, John Diebel, and the rest of our Pac Rim scouts had the privilege of watching Roki pitch in high school in Ofanato. Even then, his explosive fastball, pinpoint command, and poise beyond his years stood out. Roki has gone on to set records. He has made an indelible mark on the international stage, and we couldn't be more excited about this partnership with him. Roki, we are honored and thrilled to have you join the Dodgers family. You will not only add to our rich legacy, but you will also play an instrumental part in helping us write the next chapter in Dodgers history. With that, please join me in welcoming the newest member of the Los Angeles Dodgers, Roki Sasaki.
right, Roki Sasaki being introduced to the Dodgers media in the city of Los Angeles. Jerry, some of the things that were really sticking out with us and listening to his first words in a Dodger uniform, you pick up instantly on just how humble he is, talking about a very accomplished pitcher in Japan, saying he hasn't really accomplished anything, and he's just looking forward to making a name for himself here in Los Angeles.
We got to remember, he's 23 years young. I mean, he has accomplished a lot, but he's been extremely humble and saying, you know what, I haven't accomplished an awful lot in Japan, but he's looking forward to really getting better and better as he matures at the big league level. Obviously, look at the stuff in Japan. He runs up that fastball to 100 to 102 miles an hour. Now, velocity was down the last couple seasons, but we know, especially with his size, listed at 6'2", but I really believe standing next to Dave Roberts, he looked like he was 6'4" to me.
Yeah.
Okay, and remember, he's a young man. He can continue to grow. But look, that's just Verdugo right there. Yankees, Alex Verdugo, making him look silly. Great fastball, running fastball, 97, 98 miles an hour to, I mentioned, 100, 102. But I love that he is eager to learn, eager to develop. And John, I mentioned at the top of the show, he's not a finished product. He understands that. That's why being with the Dodgers, he knew, you know what, they're the best at developing young pitchers. They get pitchers, even veterans. You see him put on a Dodger right next to baseball ops president there, Andrew Friedman, and Dodger manager Dave Roberts. He looks great in Dodger blue as well.
And I thought it was really interesting when he was first posted. He says he doesn't want to just be great. He wants to be the best player in the world. So that's lofty expectations. Maybe they're not necessarily expectations he's putting on himself, but he said putting on that Dodger uniform today for the first time, said he's more focused now than ever.
Okay, here's the thing, too. But you see his demeanor? See how humble he was? For him to say that, he's not being cocky, he's not being arrogant. He expects a lot of himself. He understands the talent that he possesses, but he also understands this Dodger organization, this Dodger franchise. It's a history, great history of great pitchers, so he expects a lot of himself. So the marriage between the Dodgers, pitching, coaches, and staff to go along with his talent, yeah, I'd say that too. I want to be the best pitcher in the world.
All right, here's a quick bio on the newest Dodger. Roki Sasaki comes to the big leagues, 23 years of age, 6 feet 4 inches tall, was a two-time All-Star during his 4 seasons in Japan. Last year went 10-5, a 2.35 ERA, 129 strikeouts. He holds the NPB record, 19 strikeouts in a single game. And yes, he threw a perfect game, Jerry, back in 2022. And we watched Yoshi Yamamoto come here and have to make an adjustment to the big leagues. The larger baseballs used here as well. Roki Sasaki, Jerry, he's got a 3-pitch mix. He's got a fastball that was once clocked at 102 in the World Baseball Classic. Features a splitter and a slider as well. How do you think his stuff will translate here in the big leagues?
Okay, I'm going to compare him to Yamamoto. You got to remember, Yamamoto was a finished product when he came over from Japan to the Dodgers, and he really hit the ground running once his hands got used to the new baseballs. Roki Sasaki has bigger hands, obviously has a bigger frame. He has potentially to have better stuff than Yamamoto, and Yamamoto understands that. The potential is there. He is not a finished product yet. The fastball command is there at times. He's got to still work on the command. The splitter can be devastating, and when he's on, you saw that 19 strikeouts. They don't strike out a lot there in Japan. So the 19 strikeout in single game, that was a couple seasons ago. Definitely the stuff is there. Once he gets here, they're going to make sure he polishes that breaking ball because they're going to need 3 pitches here at the big league level. He understands it, but obviously the makeup, the potential is there.
All right, and Roki Sasaki is there at Dodger Stadium, and so is Kirsten Watson. She's standing by with team president Stan Kasten.
Stan, as much as our heart continues to be with the city of Los Angeles, today is a special day for this organization, the signing and the addition of Roki Sasaki. What does he bring to this group?
Well, he brings one more extraordinary talent. We really like adding talent to the team. We've worked very hard on this whole program for several years. I really can't believe how well it has turned out, but this is a great thing for our team on the field, which is the most important thing, but also for our fans and for our community and for baseball globally. This is another really good piece for the team and, as I said, good for all of baseball.
Speaking of that, just the impact this has had, and really the impact that Japanese baseball has had on Major League Baseball, how have you seen just the transition and the talent that's been coming over?
Well, there's no question that we have seen a personal connection because of the Japanese players on the Dodgers. But that has also helped Major League Baseball expand into those areas, begin new programs, new marketing programs, and along the way it's also encouraged more kids to be playing youth baseball, and we're involved in some of those programs over there. So this is a win-win for everyone on both sides of the Pacific Rim.
It's become clear that the Dodgers have become such a desirable place for young Japanese talent to come and play for. Why do you think that has become the case, and how has, as this organization, how have you all prioritized for that to be the case?
Well, two things. First of all, we have prioritized. We have made particular programs to reach out to Asian players, but we're the Dodgers. It's not just Asian players that want to come here. We think we've built a team and a culture and a success record that makes lots of players. Free agents or trade targets want to play here. We're proud of that. We're proud of our history and the legacy that goes back long before us, that goes back to Koufax and Lasorda and Fernando and on and on and on. And, of course, Jackie. So we're proud of all that. We're proud of our history. We think about it every day in everything we do. And those are the reasons we still attract the kind of talent that we attract.
I often think about when both Yoshinobu as well as Shohei Ohtani came to this organization. They talked about, as well as the organization, just how they wanted to make Japan be truly all Dodger blue. Now, of course, with the addition of Roki, with going back and forth, what have you been seeing about from the fan base side of the influence you all have had?
Well, it was extraordinary when it was just Shohei. Then when we added Yoshi, it got crazy. And so the thought of us going there this year, we think every game is going to be like what our parade rally was like. We think it's going to be exactly like that. And that was before we added Roki. So, yes, we know the island nation of Japan is very partial to the Dodgers. When you go on the streets there, you see Shohei murals everywhere, okay, even in this country. But you see every mural, you see a lot of Dodger hats. But that's good for baseball, and so we're very proud to play any part in that.
What are you looking forward to most, though, just about that trip, that opportunity for not only to see the Japanese players that you have playing over there in Major League Baseball, but the other players on this team, the opportunity that they're going to have experiencing what it's like playing in Japan?
Well, we are all extraordinarily proud to have been chosen for this, and we're just excited because we know the enthusiasm will be off the charts, probably unlike anything we've ever experienced here, because of the Japanese players, because of our history. So we don't know what to expect. It's just very exciting. Just very exciting to be a part of it. It'll be exciting to be home watching it, but to be there live will be a whole other thing.
You all ended last season with a World Series championship. You've now added more players, more talent to this organization. What does that say just to the community of knowing that this is a team they want to continue, especially building a dynasty that's potentially in place here?
Well, we talk about the virtuous cycle in our relationship with our fans. They invest a lot. It's expensive to be here as much as many fans come here. It's expensive to eat and to buy merchandise and to park. We understand all that, but that's what we need to continue to replenish and improve the team. And so they are investing in us so that we can continue to invest in them. It works for everyone as a win-win.
It absolutely does. Stan, thank you as always, and congratulations on this news today.
So Roki Sasaki joins a starting staff that includes Tyler Glasnow, Blake Snell, Shohei Ohtani, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Shohei should be able to join that rotation sometime around May. Then you have Tony Gonsolin, Landon Knack, Dustin May, Bobby Miller also in the picture. Not seen on this graphic, but on the 40-man roster, Ben Kasperius, Justin Robleski, Emmett Sheehan, and yes, Dodger for life Clayton Kershaw is expected back as well. Right now, let's go back to Dodger Stadium. Brandon Gomes, Andrew Friedman, and the skipper, Dave Roberts, are taking questions.
Dave, how much of a role did you play in monitoring the situation while this was going on? And from a baseball standpoint, what do you like about Roki from what you have seen, whether it's on tape or in person?
Well, I think as Andrew alluded to, it started with Galen Carr, his team, Pacific Rim. and then obviously coordinating through Andrew Gomer and all of baseball operations. And I think for me, it was just kind of getting information over the last few years. And I just think the last, call it month, having a couple interactions with Roki and his team, I got to know them a lot more. And it was sort of kind of painting a picture on what it would look like day to day from a clubhouse perspective. As far as what I liked, obviously the physicality, the stuff, it's swing and miss stuff, the age, and he's just obviously performed.
This is for Andrew, Fabian The Athletic, as you know. You guys were kind of seen as maybe the front runners for Sasaki. I'm right here in the middle. You guys were kind of seen as the front runners for Roki kind of throughout. How did you guys sort of view your positioning here with the standings, and sort of was it relief, was it surprise when you sort of found out that he was choosing you guys?
I think just pure excitement. Obviously, this is something that's been on our radar for a long time, and the amount of time and energy that Galen Carr, Ishmael Cruz, John Diebel, and our whole staff put into going and watching so many of his starts, to the people in the office and all that went into preparing for these meetings, just a number of fingerprints all over it from so many different groups. So it was pure excitement when we found out. And for us, we felt like, the homework assignment we felt like was right in our wheelhouse. Our ability to showcase our performance science group, our training staff, our performance staff, our pitching coaches, how connected those groups are. We felt like really highlighted a strength of ours. And so going through this process, we felt like, the most important thing was going to be to put our best foot forward. And we felt like we did that. Did it help a ton, provide, patience? No. But I would say when we found out from a text from Shohei, who beat the agent to the punch, it was just pure excitement.
Hey, Andrew, what was your guys' kind of answer to the homework assignment? Some of the specific things you told him, and how kind of quickly do you guys hope that the production he showed in Japan will translate over here?
For us, we had obviously spent some time talking about this over the year, and just some of the delivery changes that happen. We see it a lot when a guy has a hamstring injury and he comes back and his stride length is off a little bit, and just the effect it can have on the delivery. And so those were things that, Galen and his crew had flagged and were talking about well in advance of that. And so for us, it was about getting into what those differences were that we saw, but also getting at what the process would be with us, and how either intra-game or, between starts, how quickly we would flag that between our performance science group down to our pitching group, training staff, to see if things are going on, what's going on in the weight room, just how quickly those things would get flagged. And it was more about how things would work going forward if he were to be a Dodger, that we spent the most time kind of highlighting.
Andrew, obviously there's a lot happening throughout Southern California and Los Angeles at the moment, but today is a very exciting day for the Dodgers with the addition of Roki Sasaki. You guys have been watching him for a while now. What does he bring to this team?
He is an electrifying talent, 23 years old, and as good as he is right now, there is so much more room for improvement. The fastball and split are double plus major league out pitches right now. And even more than just the talent, the curiosity, the desire to be great was really attractive to us. A lot of guys are young and talented and think they have it all figured out. Roki is as committed as I've seen of being the best in the world. That's his goal. and we're here for it, and we'll do everything we can to support it.
Was that something that you all learned in the meetings that you had with him, and how he brought an assignment and wanting to know more how to make himself better and what the organization could be doing for him?
Yeah, I mean, I think we had a sense from afar that he was driven and competitive. What we didn't know was how curious he was and just how strong that burning desire is to be the best in the world. And it became very clear to us going through these two meetings, and that jives really well with our pitching group, and we're going to partner with them and do the best we can.
You all have a lot of talent in this organization. How did you see all of the guys come together to show how important it was to continue to grow that talent within this group?
Yeah, I mean, that was incredible, and it's gotten some play, but not enough. You know, for us, it was about us putting our best foot forward and presenting all sides of the Dodger organization, the city. But as we thought about it, we thought, okay, so if he's sitting there about to make a decision and thinks, okay, I love the Dodgers organization, I do think they can help me, I love the city of Los Angeles and what it provides for a person from Japan coming over, but I wonder how I'll be received in the clubhouse. So for us, either players that were in attendance at our second meeting or through video, all expressed roughly the same thing, which is we treat our players and their families great. We help make them better, and how much they all wanted him to be their teammate. And so I think that message removed any doubt there of how he'll be received in the clubhouse.
This will be, of course, his first Major League spring training. How are you hoping he approaches it, and has there been any advice or conversations just to prepare him for this experience?
Yeah, I mean, we're still kind of getting into that right now. He's flying back to Japan tonight, and with the late nature of this, it's kind of a hurried process to work on the visas and get him back over. And so we'll talk to him when he's in Japan, and he has a rough sense of, you know, kind of how things go in the beginning of spring training. He's been throwing. He feels really good. And so for us, we're going to know so much more a week after being around him than we know today. And so we're not going to pretend to have all the answers right now. We're going to make sure that we are communicating and really talking through things in spring training, into the beginning of the season, and through this first season to make sure that.
佐々木朗希投手が移籍するにあたり、各球団に宿題を出していたことが話題となっていましたが、ドジャースはこの回答が自信を持って回答できる得意分野だったと語っていましたね。また、獲得のために多くの時間を費やしてきたことが伺い知れる内容でした。これまでの期待を背負って入団する佐々木朗希投手にはぜひ1年目から活躍してほしいですね。楽しみに開幕を待ちましょう。今日はもう一本イチロー選手の1票について公式番組がまだまだ白熱の議論をしていましたので、後ほど投稿する予定です。それでは次回の動画でお会いしましょう。さようなら。